Well, let me say, I know anyone who is watching Drag Race right now, all they are doing is talking about this Snatch Game. I don't even think there's a reason we need to like get into any pretense about it. I think it is just, we can get right into it because look, how many Snatch Games have we watched? Snatch Games we won, 16 plus 10, 26.
17.
Well, no, because remember, season 1 didn't have Snatch Game.
Oh, get me together.
It was just one of those things when I was thinking about those.
So then, is it 15? Because All Stars 1 had that laughing shit.
Okay, so that's right. You're so right. It did have the laughing and not Snatch Game.
They popping out of doors and carrying on.
Hey, okay, we both had to show our little how deep does the knowledge well go? 15 Snatch Games.
15 damn Snatch Games.
Including Snatch Game of Love and all the different versions.
Right.
Like 15, we're impersonating a character, we're making Rue laugh. I don't need to rehash the common conversation about like the quality of the laughs. We can get into that a little bit later. But what I want to talk about is my perception and I'm making an allegation. I am
okay.
Going to suggest with no evidence. I have no evidence. This is simply a fan who has watched the show, who understands that it is a show. I think they cast the show based on Snatch Game.
Ooh.
I think they deliberately chose the majority of candidates from seasons where they sucked at Snatch Game so that Ginger would have no competition. Because when you think about that season that we are on now, season 10 of All Stars, and you look at who has remained, all of them had crappy Snatch Games, except for Mistress, and Irene clocked Mistress's Snatch Game. It's like, your Snatch Game wasn't actually very good. It was just good relative to everybody else who was up there, right? Bosco's Snatch Game, bad. George's first 2 Snatch Games,
Lord
bad.
Have mercy, Jesus.
Naya's Snatch Game, bad. Who else is there this season? Aja's Snatch Games were never great, right? She was never bad, but she wasn't great. She wasn't a standout that everyone wins.
Remind me who she did season 9.
The fact that you can't remember is evidence enough.
True, but
right?
It was still.
I don't remember either. I don't remember.
Damn.
Did she make it to Snatch Game? I feel like she did, but I don't remember. Was she Alyssa Edwards or like? Was she a Drag Race queen? I feel like she might have been a Drag Race queen.
I know Violet was Alyssa. I don't remember.
Well, the internet will tell us, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out later.
Let's see who else is there now. Irene, we have no idea, so we didn't know
what context
that she would be, right?
Cuckoo
didn't do great her Snatch Game.
Lydia didn't do great.
Didn't do great her Snatch Game.
And I forget who was. Too many girls, too many brackets.
So let's see. Bracket 1, Bosco, Irene, Aja. We've already said none of them were fantastic. Bracket 2, Mistress, Georges,
Lydia.
We've already said the only one that was good was Mistress, and that was likely relative to how bad everyone else was her season. Final bracket, Ginger,
Cuckoo, Daya, Ginger.
So the only one of the entire semifinals that had done well in Snatch Game was Ginger.
If we want to lean further into your allegations, I'd say around season 5, season 6, we got to a place of whoever wins or at least is in top 2 or 3 of Snatch Game. Well, usually wins Snatch Game is likely going to win the season.
That front runner cemented status. Very few queens have been eliminated after winning Snatch Game. It's happened once or twice. Who won Snatch Game? As I know it has. I can't think off the top of my head, but I know there have been some winners of Snatch Game. Deja Scott won Snatch Game
and did not win. Yeah.
But again, was she really a winner of Snatch Game? Was it that it was the worst Snatch Game of all time?
The worst one of all time.
The worst one of all time, right?
It's not that maybe she didn't win, she just didn't lose.
The very first Snatch Game, Tatiana. She won Snatch Game, and she made it to number 5 for the season. Like, she finished in the top 5, but she wasn't gonna win the season.
Yeah.
Season 3, Raja didn't win Snatch Game. Who did win Snatch Game season 3? It was...
Yeah, that one I do not remember.
Raja, Deja. It was Manila did win. They talked about it because she played the wife of the dictator.
Yeah. But I don't remember.
Imelda Marcos.
There we go.
And the issue was that she
come on, you got your historian hat on.
Right. And the reason that she got okay with this is because she actually is of Filipino descent. That's why Shangela agreed about her playing the Asian character.
Oh, I never turned my light on. Oops.
It's okay. Well, that's even more beautiful now. But you could be seen pretty well without it. But you more than this with the light. Because remember, Shangela read.
Yeah, like this is problematic, and she's
right for the first Asian, the Asian reporter, the weather or the news reporter that she's like the Connie Chung character that she played. Like, you can't do that, right? But then she actually is Filipino, so like it wasn't so much problematic, right? So, but I don't did Manila win Snatch Game? I don't know if she did. I don't remember. Because who else? Let's see.
I can't remember for the life of me.
Shangela. Did Shangela win? No, Shangela didn't win Snatch Game.
No.
She was Tina Turner?
Yes.
She was Tina Turner.
Delta was there. Raja was there. Carmen was there.
Alexis Mateo. Maybe Alexis won.
Was she Alicia Keys?
She was Alicia Keys. She was Alicia Keys. That's right. She was very like sexy and like a lesbian Alicia Keys.
Yeah, but also like almost giving Pitbull mannerisms.
Yes, very much that. She was trying to be like the Brooklyn Bronx kind of girl. Like
Georgia's Pitbull mannerisms, at least, not actual Pitbull mannerisms.
You know what? We have lost our minds, but the winner is more evident. It's Stacey Lane Matthews when she played character Precious, of course. That's who.
We don't forget Miss Haney.
We need to apologize to the original.
We're sorry to the original Haney.
And an iconic Snatch Game, but more evidence to the point that prior to season 5, it wasn't like
the determining factor.
It wasn't until kind of after season 5. You're right. James, Bianca did really well her Snatch Game. She didn't win, but she got like top.
I feel like Chad came through and made Snatch Game serious.
You're right. You know what? Let us give our props to the original sort of professionalization of Snatch Game as like the challenge.
Was Chad.
It was also the one that everyone was looking for.
Absolutely. It was a sickening performance. And then it was also that full-throated chastisement, the romper room fuckery that Latrice called it. It was like, okay, yes, we got probably our best both aesthetic and disposition, voice, humor, impersonation. That we got costume changes, like we got a great performance out of Chad, but we also for the first time got another queen being like, this challenge is not a fucking joke.
Yes.
And so after that, everyone, I don't think but that's how you know your auntie or somebody, your authority done got you together. Because I don't think Snatch Game has been a ratchet mess ever since.
Not as bad, but there have been Snatch Games. What was it? Snatch Game.
Like maybe individual performances or like collectively?
No, there was a Snatch Game that went off the rocker and someone echoed Latrice and said this was the romper room, whatever. It was like it was later on, and someone echoed her words. That's how iconic her sort of read of the room was, is that when another Snatch Game fell off, that's who the serious players were referencing when they were critiquing those that were making it all about them. I don't remember what season it was, because it was similar. Like, you know how Jiggly sort of was like, I'm sorry, I got caught up in it. Like,
yeah,
it was almost like an echo. I want to say it was like season 12. but I can't remember. Like, I don't think it was season 14. Like, it wasn't the everyone was bad season, but it was a not so great Snatch Game. And there were definitely some people who were not.
What was going on season 11? That was just hella people in the bottom, but it wasn't Lollapalooza style.
No, and it might have been season 11 where there was, because it was.
Did Rue cuss him out?
Oh no, it was the Sugar and Spice season with Anitra and Malaysia Baby Doll Fox. That's what it was. It was the Miley Cyrus, Trisha Paytas like mess that Sugar and Spice were bringing. Like, it was the very like, oh my god, very 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 like sort of thing.
very like.
And I think I don't remember which queen it was that read. Maybe it was Malaysia, because it wasn't Mistress. Mistress actually did. That's the season. That's why. That's the season that Irene is talking about, because that was her season, because she only made one episode. Which I'm very curious to see what her talent is this coming tomorrow, because it's a talent show. And that's the episode she went home on. So I'm very curious what her talent is. But let's not get into that. We can talk about it we'll get ahead of ourselves. So, because you're right, season 5, Jinx, season 6, Bianca, season 7, Kennedy.
Kennedy
made it very far in the season. Like, you want to dismiss Kennedy, and like, Kennedy has been a finalist pretty much every run of Drag Race she's been on.
Period.
Like,
Ginger energy, Jujubee energy.
Period.
Iconic leg and dairy.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Jujubee, as well. Legs.
See how it just.
Season 8, Bob.
Yep.
Season 9. Who won Snatch Game season 9?
I don't think Sasha did.
Sasha didn't, because she actually got red for it. Because her Marlena Dietrich was.
Yeah. She looked cool, but it wasn't really.
Sasha, like, yeah, she's a lot of things, but she's not that sort of. I don't know. She just wasn't gonna win that episode.
Yeah.
Season 9. Alexis Michelle, Liza Minnelli.
Duh.
But she wasn't gonna win the season. Right, so that was like an aberration season, right?
Yeah.
In
Aquaria,
and she won. Season 11 was
Evie did not. Yeah.
It was also none of them.
Honey Davenport, Lord,
none of them were very good at Snatch Games. Like, they were all. That was kind of one of the weaker Snatch Games, if I recall. Correct.
I mean, Rue put them all in the bottom, cussed them out.
It was not a very good.
She was not pleased.
Season 12. We'll never really know. Season 12 is because that was the Sherry Pie season, right? Where all the season 12. So like, my understanding, the tea was that Sherry did a phenomenal job, but the way that they edited it, you didn't get to see her sort of off. Like, was it Hepburn? Was it Katharine Hepburn? The sort of the whole, I think
they edited her out so well that I don't remember. I just remember Miss Gigi,
the old lady going.
Yeah,
that's Katharine Hepburn. That was her Katharine Hepburn. I'm pretty sure. And apparently, she did really well. I think she was supposed to have won the Snatch Game, but they gave it to Gigi in the edit. Like, because apparently they had done a whole lot of like rigging. Now I don't know if that's true or not. Like, Gigi may have already won it, and they just edited it that way so that it looked that way. And
did they get the Emmy that year for best editing?
They did. I don't want to say for sure, but I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
One of the best editing years.
For that season.
And production was production-y.
Baby, listen.
Like, I know we critique production. Everyone lives for critiquing for production, but they are fantastic at what they do.
They are great at it. Let me come closer. They're wonderful at what they do.
But they are like their ability to take so much footage and craft this very tight narrative such that we want to talk about it the way that we do. That there are so many people who know that it's not real.
And it doesn't matter. But we're invested.
Invested, baby.
Tell us the story. 13. Because now I feel like we're in so deep that I gotta review. Especially, you know, a lot of the folks, they only started watching 5 years ago at season 12. They don't remember the logo days. And so
was season 13 Deja Sky? Was that season 13? Was that
she's 14?
So then who was 13?
13 was Simone and Candy and them.
Oh, that's right. That's 13. See, for some reason in my head, Simone's 12, but that's Jada.
Same. It always that 2021
10, 11, 12, 13. It all blends like which
20,
season was which.
12 and 13. Like that 2021 is just a weird time.
Yeah. I'm solid. The logo girls, baby.
Oh yeah, down.
Baby, I'm solid on the logo girls. Everything after gets a little like VH1 MTV. What was
yeah, it's like there's before Sasha Velour took her wig off, and then there's after.
Yes. But yes, like,
and I really, that's 100%. No shade, but I feel like I remember everything so clearly, distinctly, and specifically up through that first season on VH1, season 9, and then everything after has kind of become a little bit of a blur.
You know, and
that's not shade at all. It's just I'm of a certain age, you know.
Well,
my memory was much sharper back in the day.
Willow would say it's because of Matthew. There's just karma. That's what Willow would say. And you know that's true. If you gave Willow the opportunity, that's what Willow would say.
Babe, he was just on Daily Mail giving the girls hell. But I don't want to get too sidetracked. No. I don't remember anything about season 13 Snatch. Oh, wait, I remember Simone was Harriet Tubman.
Yes, which was actually not bad. It really wasn't as bad as it could have been. It wasn't as bad as Tsunami Muses the Gold Tooth Fairy. That was bad. And you know, I'm still hot about that episode.
Because it could have been
my
a great
character and lip sync my favorite song that has ever been played and bad at both of them.
Disrespectful. It's like the Michael Jordan meme. Like, I took that personally.
I took it very personally. Because like I have long as like if I was ever on Drag Race, my Snatch Game character, I'd be the Gold Tooth Fairy. And obviously you wouldn't choose your lip sync, but like it's my favorite song. That's my favorite song ever. And the lip sync was bad. It was bad lip sync. It was bad lip sync. And her performance was horrible. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being harsh. I apologize, Tsunami. I don't know if I would have done any better. I really don't. The pressure, I'm sure, is massive. But girl, that hurt my feelings.
I was gonna say you're not angry. You hurt. It's okay. It's just like, damn, why you have to do me like that?
But yeah, no, you're right. That was. I mean, it was. Yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah.
Season 13. Season 14, Mistress. I mean, she like relative to her peers, she did a good job. Like,
wait, 14 was Willow and Deja and them.
No.
15.
No.
Mistress is 15 with Sasha.
No, that's correct. But Willow wasn't on that season. Willow was on season 12, right?
No, Willow won season 14. 12 is Jada. Simone is 13. Willow and Camden and Daya and Bosco is 14.
They all blend together. See, I forgot that.
And Georges, always forget Georges was on 14 with Willow.
Willow and Georges were on the same season?
It's fucked up, ain't it?
That's very funny. Because I know that's true. Like, I know that's true.
No, wait. Am I wrong?
I think you're wrong. You have to be wrong.
Was Georges? No, Georges was not 13 with Utica.
No, Georges was
she's
the same
14.
As Deja.
Yeah, so she's 14.
They got eliminated on the same episode.
Yeah, they're 14.
Jeez, they are 14. That's right. That is
Mick is 13, right. I think. Mick is 13
with
Andy,
Simone.
Because I was like, I knew that there was an outfit. No shade to the girls, but shade. Shout out to him, the rapper. I knew that there was an outfit made out of scraps that beat Utica's incredible design challenge.
Yes.
So my brain tried to put, it was like, no, not Georges's cookie cutters. Mm-hmm. It was Mick's final look that literally got thrown in the garbage because they thought that it was scraps at the end of the day. And it was like, oh, no, that's my look. I'm not saying that it wasn't interesting. I am saying that there was very evidently more work put into one of the garments than the other. And on the strength of that alone, I would have gave Utica a little bit more. But yeah, 15, Mistress and them. I don't remember what Sasha did.
Sasha did all right. She was Jane Crouch, the televangelist.
Yes, okay. 16, we got Jane Nymphia Wynn-Goodall and Jane Saphira, James Brown Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal, rather. Stupid. So good. Yeah, that wasn't bad. And then 17, which just happened 15, 20 minutes ago, we got Eddie Murphy. And Saphira almost won.
Anya was actually really good. I actually really liked Anya's.
I thought it was a great performance. I really, really did.
Not a great Snatch Game overall, but she did a great performance.
And I feel like, shout out to Memory Lane. I feel like maybe it's cultural. Maybe it's being, like Funky Dineva would say, black like this and not like this. Anyone who thought that Anya's performance was just Anya, like, to me, not it. The voice, the intonation, like it. You can tell that she grew up watching Eddie Murphy. So I'm like, anyone who thinks that was just Anya being Anya with a pair of glasses on is not familiar with his work, because
or they just know Donkey from Shrek.
That is so real. Do we do a speed run of All Stars? Snatch Games? No. Okay. Well, I have a question.
But, I mean, if there is some that you want to talk about, like there's some iconic Snatch, but this whole Snatch Game of Love thing, I don't like it. I've never liked the Snatch Game of Love. I don't think it's very good.
Yeah.
Like, some of the performances have been good, but like
keep the girls together.
Like that they came back for original Snatch Game.
Yeah.
I like that personally.
Some discourse I have been seeing, and an opinion that I have about it. So now that we have gone through the 16 seasons of Snatch Game, a lot of people are wondering if it is still a relevant challenge. Everyone's like, we haven't had a good Snatch Game in so many years. It's pointless. No one does this anymore. Do we keep it? I say yes for two reasons. Well, okay, maybe three. One, I feel like it's sort of like an anchor to the season in a way. It's like something there's before and after Snatch Game, and it really does sort of, I've just gotten used to it, and I would miss it if it were gone. Two, when it's really good, like even if the rest of the Snatch Game isn't good, when a performance is really, really good, it's really good, and I do enjoy it. Three, we get so on Drag Race's ass about how it hasn't, or about how much it has changed drag, or how it has fucked up drag, or how it's like a false understanding in terms of mainstreaming what people think drag is or is supposed to be. I think that drag's relationship / arguably roots in celebrity impersonation are a part of the art form. It's almost like a what's the word that I want to use? It's like a foundational course, like a 101. It's like, I think that there's something, whether they're good at it or not, watching every queen have to do a celebrity impersonation, I think lends a little bit to the authenticity of what drag, historically has been.
And this is where I think it really connects nicely with where we're going to go with our Rushmore for today.
Uh-huh.
Doing well on Snatch Game is the thing that a lot of the big queens post the show have in common. If you do well in Snatch Game, then that shows you have the capacity to sort of do a lot of the things that would make you a consumable product in today's sort of entertainment economy.
That is so real. You're quick on your feet. You're funny. You're able to volley. You're able to banter. You're able to...
Yep.
It exercises all those muscles at once while turning a specific look.
Yep. And to your point about sort of drag history, like if you are... Now, I want to be more... And again, this is more me. I try to be more thoughtful when I talk about drag as a whole, because oftentimes when we talk about drag, we are unintentionally sort of silently erasing drag kings and a lot of things, because we end up talking about like female impersonation for drag.
Talk about that.
Right?
That's
and it's
so
not,
real.
It's not intentional, because I've definitely participated in it.
Yeah.
Because in my experience and sort of how I've lived my life, the spaces that I've been in that are queer spaces have privileged the male experience. And so men participating in gender exploration and expression has been centered in my lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the patriarchal nature of our society also then obscures or hides when non-male individuals, be them female, women, non-binary, however you want to qualify, non-male component, engages in gender play, it's not given the same space. And when I think about how many drag kings I've seen just by virtue of living my life, it's very few. But drag kings and people playing in drag across genders has been a part of drag for as long as there has been drag. And I know something that I said in a previous episode is sort of how drag has its roots in sort of revolutionary components. It does.
Yeah.
You also have to remember that the revolutionary components of our understanding have deeper roots than some of the points we look back at. That, you know, drag has been around the United States for as long as there's been in the United States. And before that, like there were colonial periods of people dressing up outside of their prescribed gender, and it's
enslaved people doing
new.
drag, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I want to take a second for myself and my own work as a person to make sure that, like, when I talk about drag, I'm not saying that I'm going to change how I talk about it, but I want to be more vocal about the fact that I'm not including a group of people, and I need to work on that in how I think about it. Now, our platform is about a TV show, and that TV show is about drag queens, and that's fine. But I think acknowledging
as we contextualize it,
putting it out there is sort of our part. But yes, our little world over here we're talking about is this. We want to make sure that we are as open as we can be about the larger conversation. And since neither of us fall into that group, I do think it is on us to make sure that we are talking about it when we can, so that people who want to know more will go out and investigate on their own, as opposed to like listening to us, because like we can't speak that experience. Like, you know what I mean? So that's I want to say that before.
Although I have had my drag king days.
Yes. No.
Yes.
I'm sure you have, right? Like, as someone who has played around with your own like artistic expression of yourself, I'm sure.
Or even during undergrad, baby, I remember going to, you know, capital Y and capital J's house. You know the world.
Yes. Oh, I know exactly where you're going.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. I went over in drag before Queer as Prom. And I thought they were being a little bit extra about not recognizing me. And it was just like, ain't no other Black people at this school. Like, this mustache ain't doing that damn much. Like, come on. But to the point that it was so interesting, and how it because like one can argue that I'm a little tomboyish anyway, but I also like belly dance. So the pendulum can swing very wildly in terms of my expression. But like, even just giving myself a masculine, arguably masculine name, and like the tie and the weight of the clothes. And it was just like, it's its own art form. And I would imagine, of course, not exactly the same, but RuPaul always makes like have you ever felt how you feel like in a pair of tights?
Yeah.
And it's like, copy. I still remember the first time I saw you in drag.
Yeah, that was.
It was before we were friends, I think. I was just a freshman, which means you were just a sophomore. But it was when Danny, Butch Queen, first time up in drags at the competition, won, and you had that waist length blonde bust down, and you could not believe that this man in a dress had pulled up. You were given body in a black mini dress, and when I tell you, you whipped that hair over your shoulder and you stormed the fuck out of Fall Steps. And I saw you later on at the Spy, I think, and it was just like, again, like I had been at Skidmore for at best 6 months. Like I can't remember what semester it was. I just know I was like brand new to college, and I was like, I don't know who that is. But I fucks with her.
That was hilarious, girl.
Yo, baby, we have had a time.
It's funny because my freshman year, I won the male beauty pageant at the Mr. Skidmore competition.
Which is why when you did not win, you were like, what the fuck is this? And I wasn't there for the first one.
I won. It was a whole thing, and then I was crowned the queen of the prom, which all happened my freshman year. I was exploring. I had no idea. I came from a whole different reality, and I wore uniforms to school every day.
Yeah,
and I was around nothing but boys all day, and it wasn't pleasant. So I was exploring and like figuring out, okay, like what is out there. Like I didn't even. Like clothing wasn't really a choice for me, like teenager. And I wasn't the kind of kid who like had a whole active social life after school. So I wasn't hanging out with a bunch of kids in my street clothes. Like I hung out with people. I had friends, but they were all at my school. So we were all in uniforms, and we would mostly hang out right after school. So like by the time I got home, I was home. I wasn't going back out again. College was the first time that I ever really got to play around with clothing at all. And while I respect drag queens and like definitely had fun playing around in drag, like I'm not a drag queen. Not a drag queen. Like I am very comfortable in my gender expression. I have no problem wearing feminine things. If I want to, I rarely do. But because work. Listen. And I don't understand it. Like I have a good college friend who I'm not going to mention, you know the person, but just for sake of their own anonymity. And whenever I see them, they like want to put me in drag. Like it's one of their favorite things to do. And I let them do it. And I look pretty. I am a pretty woman. But it's not something that I would enjoy doing on the regular. For whatever reason. Like I've thought about it. It's like, okay, you know, I watch so much Drag Race, I consume so much drag. Like, why don't I play around and come up with the drag character? It's like the idea is fun. But like the actual effort that would be required to do all of it, it's just not for me. Like I just wouldn't do that. Like it's a nice idea, but you know. So
that's real. I feel like
all of that said, when I think about whether or not Drag Race should continue to have a Snatch Game, I agree with pretty much all of your points. I think your final 2 points would be my first 2 points. I just hadn't considered your first point. But yeah, it's not always going to be a good Snatch Game. You know why? Because most people are going to suck at Snatch Game. Period. Most people are going to suck at Snatch Game because it is hard. It is hard to do all of the things, which is why talent is talent. That's why it's the teen charisma you deserve talent. Like you have to be able to
do punctuation. Yeah.
Period. And most of us, no matter how hard we might try or prepare or want to be good at it, are not going to be good at it. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a normal thing. Right? And when you think about who's good at it, it's like, oh, they're really good at it. And they should be. And that's why they're entertaining. And that's why, you know, like a mediocre Snatch Game performance is a good thing. Like, if you can just make Rue laugh a couple times and not be bad, you are golden.
Right.
You are golden. Because it is hard to volley while you're impersonating a character, while you're listening to the other characters, while you're trying to be funny. And there's no audience to give you a sense of whether you're actually funny or not. And we all know Rue is going to laugh at anything, but like Rue can also be a dick and choose not to laugh. Like there have been so many times where like Rue should be laughing at this. This is normally, and Rue's not. And like, why? I don't know. Right? Again, you know, I was listening to one of the Drag Race pods. It might have been Sibling Rivalry, but they were talking about how, it might have been sibling, or it might have been the Roscoe's recap. I listened to both. I can't remember which one it was, and then I listened to Matt.
Dry tea served with Matt.
I listened to all three. I listened to I like his review. I just watched it. I want to hear what he has to say. I like his voice.
Right.
And he's really good at like, this is what you want to know.
Right.
Because I never listened to him like, well, why did he mention this? I know that's it. But how many hours it used to take them to film Snatch Game? It would be like, they'd be on set for 3 or 4 hours, right? To get 25 minutes of footage, right? Yeah. So think about trying to laugh at crack jokes, make answers. You have more time than we see for hours, no audience to let you know whether you're actually being funny or not, except for maybe the occasional producer who's laughing, or Rue's laughing, or one of the other contestants is laughing because it really was funny. Like, you can tell when the other contestants are laughing, like, because it's funny. But I don't know. I mean, I know I would be good at coming with a character, but like, I would struggle with that.
I don't even know what character
I would be going left, right, and the other. So like, as much as my feelings were hurt by Tsunami's performance, it's like, I don't know if I would have done better. Like, I think I would have done better. I believe that I would have done better. But in truth, the moment would have to be right.
The moment would have to be right, yeah.
Because like, when it clicks, I'm hysterical. I know I'm funny. But I'm not always funny. Like, when I'm funny, I'm funny. And I can get people laughing. But there are plenty of times where I'm just awkward. It's like,
and also, it's the staying in character. It's being funny as that, which is why I feel like people so underestimate Anya's performance in a way. Also, and not just because I was raised in Cleveland and my whole family is there, but like, she was the mannerisms, the way she held that smile, the everything, like, it was so thoroughly Eddie. And I feel like it was one of the best performances in Snatch Game we've seen in a long time. No, and so maybe that's also impacting it. Maybe it's because we were so thirsty for someone to not fuck up Snatch Game that, you know. Right. But I also do think that standalone, that would have been a good performance on just about any other season.
I don't disagree, especially on this season. Because it was not a good Snatch Game. It wasn't a bad Snatch Game, but it wasn't a good Snatch Game. Now, people want to like say whatever about Ginger. Was her performances even my favorite? No. But it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. What disappointed me is I feel like I got bait and switched. You know how they usually show, like, before the commercial break, at least what's airing on TV as opposed to Paramount Plus, like, coming up next, and you'll see someone flopping, but actually they end up either doing fine or excelling. I feel like I got the reverse this time. I feel like it was when they did that first go through. Oh, production, you sneaky bitch. Okay. That first question, I felt like Snatch Game was going to be good. Literally everyone got a laugh until they put Mistress at the end, and she's the only one that Rue did not laugh at during that first round. Threw her off immediately. And it was like, oh. okay, so this is what we're doing. And from there, it felt like nothing was consistently funny anymore. But the fact that I sat there and saw like the first 8 hearty laughs in a row, I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be a decent Snatch Game. It's like, no, they're not setting me up for a good Snatch Game. They're setting her up for a bad edit of Snatch Game. And I'm not saying her character was particularly funny. Like, I don't know who, I mean, that's just because I'm of a certain age. Everybody else knows who Natalie Nunn is, apparently. Shout out to you, Natalie. Don't beat my ass. I hear you are known for that. But it's interesting. We talked a little bit about Aja and Mistress recalling how Snatch Game felt versus the edit that they saw on TV and how it felt so different from the experience that they both had. Now, after our previous episode about villainy and after the preview that I saw for tomorrow's episode, I'm in my, we talked about there's like the personal feelings, then there's the I understand this is a TV show production edit feelings. Right now, I'm in my personal feelings, and I'm just like, Aja is better than me. You wanted this show to be Bad Girls Club?
Oh, girl.
Fine.
Girl.
I can talk shit all day. I don't care.
Yeah.
The second you get into my personal space,
no, don't touch me.
The second you get into, now I have a reason.
You've given me permission.
And I want you, by the time I'm done, you will want to think twice about touching anybody else. But anyway, Snatch Game.
Well, but I think,
and if they already made up and they're on Mistress's channel, then I have no right to still be angry. But that clip had me triggered.
But that's what you could be upset about, is the fact that like that interaction is indicative of a series of things that you as a person have to live with and deal with. And while the denotation may be taken care of, like we saw that interaction, they may be chill, whatever, its connotation of the larger system that we live in and what that means about the ownership of our spaces and sort of how people can manipulate the environment that we're in, right? Because it was very clear that Mistress was, playing mind games with Aja, and like her, it was like she was doing it on purpose. And again, that's fine. Like, getting under the skin of your competitor, like that's part of like the games we play. It's like in competitions, but the issue is when you are so focused on undermining the other person that you lose sight of the way that your actions may impact them on a larger scale, right? Like, that's where you, as the person you are, who can see the translation, like you get to be upset. Right? Like they may be cool with each other and everything, and like you can't be upset at them, but you can be upset about what that makes you remember or whatever.
And also, there were just so many layers to it. Like I remember once upon a time when our friend first got me into Drag Race, and I remember bringing it up to you, and you were like, I feel like the mess and the drama isn't really going to be for me. And I thought about, I thought about that when I was watching that clip. And I think that it also bothered me because part of why we gave Mistress so much room last episode is because we talked about, the idea of punching up versus punching down. Aja is, and again, she's a grown-ass woman. She's cool. She doesn't need me to defend her. This is entirely me projecting my own sensitivities and watching this and feeling like, kinship, solidarity, allyship, whatever it is. I was like, okay, so you gonna sit here next to this trans Afro-Latina who has been bearing her heart about all of her struggles outside of drag, not being able to make rent, knowing the sort of social, because like they filmed this in April, knowing the social moment that we're in, knowing that people are under attack, knowing that she's like posting things about, gender markers on her identification, like she's being so open with us about this. And when someone tries to extend some care to her and ask her if she's okay, this is the moment that you choose to literally laugh in her face. TV drama or not, that it just felt particularly mean-spirited. And like seeing it again, like I try not to overstep as someone who at the end of the day is like a cishet lady, but my humanity, like it made me extra sad that it was coming from another person of color in the LGBTQIA plus community. It was just like,
should know better.
It's like, don't get me wrong, like read her while she's putting on her makeup or put on one of her, like there are ways, it's fucked up. There are ways to be mean to her in the competition that don't involve like attacking where she is in life.
Yeah.
Like the whole, like taking advice from someone that's in your position, like that was so fucking mean. And Aja, the grace that she extended, and I'm so glad that she said, particularly like you think you're doing your big one, but it's making you look really small, because that's what I yap about all the time when I'm in my personal bag and not my I'm watching a television show with production bag. Is if Mistress was really like, if Mistress knew that she could make it to the end of the competition on the strength of her yellow and red eyeshadow and her looks and her humor and her talent alone, she wouldn't do the rest of this.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Aja pointed out, like, I know what you're trying to do, and the fact that you have to go through all of this makes you look really small. Like, and this is where I'm Scorpio and I got hella Scorpio placements. This is where the nastiness in, you know what, I might just go ahead and keep that to myself. I'm gonna just go ahead and keep it to myself. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Sometimes the opinions do need to stay inside.
That one needs to stay in my face.
Yeah. I'm gonna speak from the future and say, I don't know what that is, but we're gonna let that one stay where it is.
Yeah, maybe
maturity and age, grace and power, it all comes.
Yes, it does. Because I can't see, and that's the thing. That's why I don't like it when I get personally, and again, totally projecting. But when I've been in those situations, once you give me permission, I don't have a you hit me and I hit you back at the same intensity. We're taking it too far. We are I always regret it.
Yep.
After I say it. And it's just like, you know what? Yep. What Bianca say? Not today, Satan. Not today.
So I think tomorrow will shed a lot of light. I know the big question now is who do you think is going to be eliminated? And so so before we move on to like the Snatch Games of all time, I'm curious what your thoughts are on a couple things.
Okay.
One, we only got 12 episodes. And so that means we've got 2 more left, including tomorrow's. We've still got 8 queens, right?
8 queens, 2 more episodes. We still have a Lollapalooza?
Yeah, so how many queens are going to be in a Lollapalooza? Like, how many lip syncs is it going to be, right? Because if we've only got 12 episodes, my assumption is the 12th episode is the grand finale. So next episode would be the last episode for queens to be eliminated. So is it going to be a single queen eliminated, multiple queens eliminated, right? Like, I haven't gone on the internet to look to see, because like the internet would tell me, I don't want to know.
Same. I feel like the twist has to be some sort of multiple queen elimination. Like, well, but wait. No, I don't think it's going to be multiple queen elimination, because we still have to have a wild card coming back. And then the way that they do the Lollapalooza. So I guess it comes down to, does the wild card queen take someone's place or just get added to the roster?
Ooh, that's the thing we don't know. And so is it? Do you think it's gonna be like one of the Lollapaloozas where it's like 8 queens and they do 2, 2, and 2, and then the winners from each of those, and then the winners from those? So it's like the whole episode is like kind of like they did with the Bad Snatch Game, or like She Done Already Done Had Hers is
2, 2, 2, 2. So that's 4 songs, and then 2 more, 5, 6, and then so 7 songs between 8 queens, going from 8 to 4 to final 2.
Maybe, or they may do like they did with the Sugar and Spice thing, where someone gets catapulted to the front.
Like they just automatically go through because no one picks them, kind of thing.
Wild card. I don't know. Like I don't know what they're going to do.
Okay.
I think the stakes of this coming episode, it's all going to be on how many queens make it to the finale. And they haven't said that yet. Like they deliberately haven't told us how many queens are making it to the final.
Which is why it kind of gives rigor mortis, girl, because it's like even last week's
hold that thought. I also don't think that the bottom was the bottom. Like I thought Bosco did not do a good job at all. Like Bosco was not.
Baby, as soon as she turned that wig around, I was like, girl, if you don't, who wears wavy hair for Cher?
Like Bosco wasn't funny. Irene wasn't funny. Daya wasn't funny. I honestly thought Mistress did better than them. Like Mistress wasn't funny, but she had a full character and she went to bat for things. Like Daya had no jokes.
Nothing.
No jokes. Like her first, she sort of looked like Jane Lynch. Yes, great look. But like my bottom would have been Cuckoo and Daya, or Cuckoo and Bosco, or maybe even Cuckoo and Irene. Like Cuckoo was like that.
No, maybe.
Look, I'm sorry. No.
Maybe this is a hot take. Well, 2 things.
So yeah, go back to saying what you were saying. I'm sorry. If I knew I needed to say that.
Well, but see, now I'm pivoted, so it don't matter. 2 things. The judging, if it's gonna be, I know that we always complain about the inconsistency between things like the makeover challenge. You 2 look exactly alike versus I don't see family resemblance. So we get frustrated with that inconsistency. I am frustrated with the inconsistency of Cuckoo clearly by far and away making Rue laugh more than anyone else.
Oh, I agree.
And so if Lexi gets safe because she's so bad that it was good and she didn't even make like that I'm not saying that Cuckoo's performance was necessarily brilliant. I am saying RuPaul could not fucking breathe laughing at that lady.
I agree.
And for that reason, I wouldn't have put her in the bottom. I see why they argued to put her in the bottom, but I also feel like if you're talking earlier in the episode about how this selection of queens was built around making sure that Ginger would necessarily be the best at Snatch Game, this episode was meant to course correct the fact that Cuckoo was never supposed to make it past her bracket.
Agreed. 100%.
That's what this episode was for. She was not supposed to make it past her bracket. And so since she did, they had to figure out a way to get her to fuck up out of there.
Which only gives more sort of evidence to the allegations again. Allegedly. Supposed to be Denali.
Oh, yeah.
Was supposed to make it through, but her behavior in losing the lip sync to Ginger had Ruby like, nah, bro. You ain't doing you.
Because if we're ending on Lollapalooza, and one of the complaints that people have consistently had, I'll say over the last, I'll say even 4 seasons, I'll say like 14 to 17, is that the lip syncs suck, that no one knows how to perform anymore. We can, like I went all ham in one of the past episodes about how just because she bent over and touched her coochie, don't make it. Like, I'm not saying she's not an exciting performer. Maybe it wasn't the best fit of a song. I'm not blind. That was ableist. I
Right.
Denali's an incredible entertainer.
Incredible.
An incredible entertainer. And if you are trying to have this season go out with a bang, then you want incredible drag performances, high octane. You want spins, dips, flips, etc. And that's not me backpedaling and pussy popping, as James Caldwell, shout out to Spiller Boy TV, would say on Jules Sparkles either. I think that the difference is that Jules is still very young. And kind of like the other queens who think that if you do a split and a lip sync, you automatically win, kind of thing. And it's like, I'm not saying that she's not a great entertainer as well. I am saying that like a lot of the more seasoned queens, or even people who talk about Drag Race in a very intense and passionate and detailed capacity, such as ourselves, would agree that being able to pace matters, which is why one of my favorite Drag Race lip sync moments forever will be Roxy Andrews in that green jumpsuit with that damn nail file singing "No Against the that back off with the like." Perform the song.
Yes. That is one of the best lip syncs in Drag Race history, but definitely in the last 5 years. Like
definitely in the last.
Like I put that up there with
good.
Dita
This
Ritz,
will be
Princess.
Yep.
I put that up there with
Natural Woman.
I put that up there with Shut Up and Drive. Just like
we have beef on that one because you insisted Tatiana won, and I'm like, Tatiana was trying to do Alyssa awkwardly, and
nope, I still think she won. But that's we can disagree. We agree that it was an iconic lip sync, and that's
yes, we do. Yes, we do.
But no, you are. I also think that production, if they rigging it, they don't want someone who will out lip sync Ginger at any time to make it to the finale. They don't want that. So, like, in the original notion, it would have been Denali would have made it to the semifinals and probably would have lost at some point in the semifinals.
Fair.
Right?
Or, well, finish your point.
Right. If not that, she would have made it to the finals, but wouldn't have made it to the last round of the finals. Like, it wouldn't have been a Ginger versus Denali. Like, if it's going to be anybody, my thinking was that it would have been Georges and Ginger, and Georges would have knocked out Denali in the lip sync Lollapalooza. Because Georges is still going to be there. Georges is going to make it. Like, I would be shocked. Like, utterly shocked if Georges doesn't make it to the lip sync. And if she does, she's going to go very far. Like, the top two are likely going to be Ginger and Georges, just by virtue of like how the show's playing out, track records, just like what is left in the competition. Like Georges is going to do very well in tomorrow's episode. Georges might win tomorrow's episode. Like I would not be surprised at all if Georges wins tomorrow. Just when you think about the talents and what they're, because again, the talents aren't going to be that much. Like when you think about what Bosco's going to do burlesque, most likely, we don't know what Irene's going to do. I don't know what Dia's gonna do. Like,
I hope she makes another glass of water.
I hope Irene knows how to make. Like, I hope she does something like iconic like that, and like just hits that sort of meta level. But who knows, right? Dia's gonna do a lip sync probably. Like, I don't know what Dia's gonna do. I would love to be surprised, but I don't know what her talent's gonna be. I think looking at Ginger's obviously going to do something good. Like she's either going to sing or she's going to do something comedic. Like it's going to be good because Ginger's talented. Like there's a reason why Ginger's doing well because she's great at Drag Race. Like in many ways, Ginger deserves the crown. Like you could argue that Ginger should have gotten it season 7. Like she should have won season 7.
Yeah.
And this is Rue correcting it. Just kind of like some people like, yeah, go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
Season 7 was when it started to pivot from seasoned queens in the club to social media aesthetic girlies.
Exactly.
So had Ginger been a season or two before, she would have mopped them hoes, and it would have just made sense. But once the audience of Drag Race started to shift, that new audience did not want a Ginger.
No.
No. Oh my gosh, there was something else I was gonna say.
Plus, Bianca just won, and the show
and
was
Bianca had just
interested in a three-peat of Comedy Queen, because you had Jinx followed by Bianca. Now, the fact that you got Bob in season 8, like, season 7 is the aberration. Like, if you think about the trend, it should have been Jinx, Bianca, Ginger, Bob, right? And then Sasha disrupts the trend, right? Because there was no Comedy Queen that made it to the finale in season 9, because there weren't really Comedy Queens in season 9.
Yeah.
Because they had already, the show, to your point, already decided, oh, we're moving in a different direction. So they had far fewer Comedy Queen season 9. I guess Alexis Michelle is a Comedy Queen, but not really, right?
But that's more of a theater, like she gets Broadway. Yeah.
Like that's Alexis Michelle. But she kind of had that sort of humorous sort of like space on season 9.
Right.
But Ginger should have won season 7. And so I think in many ways the show is correcting it. Like I could see that being like production's end result. Just like, you know, let's make an entire season for Alyssa Edwards and give her a crown. Like I can easily, now we already know they're already filming the next tournament. They're already doing All Stars 11, and the tea is, so I don't know if you saw this, and we can go move to the next part of our session soon, but the tea is both Akira and Silky were invited, and they have some drama because apparently Silky did something to Akira on the internet I think like a week ago, and I never went to go look up the tea like I meant to see like what the drama was, but apparently there's something between them. They both apparently make it to the semifinals, and that's something happens, and it was big boots to the point where Akira was like calling Silky out on the internet, like with screenshots of iMessages and stuff.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
So the queen's been spilling on them NDAs.
No, girls are fighting.
Girls are fighting. So they are going to continue this tournament of All Stars. Like they're already doing that.
The last thing before we pivot, the point you were making about Denali can only get so far if they want to ensure that that Ginger wins. We've seen queens get out lip synced in a finale, and Rue, one, the edit will chop and screw that thing. Shout out to Houston. And two, Rue will give a disclaimer. We all remember Monet and Jinx.
Oh yeah.
And it was very based on the results of this lip sync and the entirety of this season's performances and win subtotals mathematics and the person that I actually want to crown or something like that. Because the idea, like, I know Monet. Ooh, from what we saw, the little bit we did see, if it's based on if we're going by Sasha Velour standards, if it's about how well you do in this final lip sync and not just the cumulative impact that you've had over the course of the season, pack it up, Jinx. I'm sorry for you. But like the Viceland show with Trixie in season, she was about to headline on Broadway, and it's just so much nicer for the brand, for the franchise to have notable alums. So you make sure that it reads RuPaul's Drag Race winner.
Queen of all queens.
Queen of all queens. Headlining on Broadway.
And Jinx has become quite a staple. I'm like a knocker. Hey.
She feels like...
Well, and I think that's a perfect transition because...
There we go.
for my sort of candidates for the drag sort of Rushmore Snatch Game performances, my first one is Jinx. I think it's hard to argue a person who won both of her seasons, including a season with nothing but winners.
Right.
Won her Snatch Games, did them in iconic fashion. Little Edie, like, who is that? right? So many people had no idea who she was, and she was hysterical. You
Didn't
didn't even need to
even
know
matter.
the character. Like, you didn't need any reference points. That's massive.
Yeah.
And to do it on a season where you're competing against some pretty big drag queens, like Alaska was hysterical, right? Like, I think it's her embodiment of the character and would inspire so many queens thereafter. And then to come back on her all winners season
and
destroy. The fact that she could reference her own damn season as her character talking about the guy that she did the military, like, come on.
Brilliant. So hysterical.
And everybody knew she won. Like,
everyone
all the other contestants, we're gonna have fun, but like she won this one. Like, they were laughing. Everyone was enjoying.
No one could keep it together. Like, it's one thing to make Rue laugh, to crack the whole panel, to crack all of your fellow competitors. No one could take it.
So for that reason,
period. You got no argument out of me.
The top of my list, like. Then I have Bob, in part because Bob's sort of transition between his two characters was done so beautifully, and they were so different. Right now, granted, it wasn't surprising that Bob was going to knock Snatch Game out of the park. That's like a challenge made for Bob, but Bob did a really, 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 really good job, and I still enjoy watching his Carol Channing.
Yeah, I can see that.
To do a character that like other drag queens have done, and to do it as well as he did it, right? Because other people have done Carol Channing, and they were hysterical.
Yeah, shout to Pandora, we see you.
Right. So, like, again, I'm not knocking the other performances; they were great. It's just to be able to do that, to win your season, and still be referenced speaks a lot to that win.
Absolutely.
To the point you made earlier, and this is one that I had gone back and forth on. Originally, I had a queen who I moved to my honorable mention, but it's Chad. Cher's appearance at Snatch Game created Snatch Game, as we understand. Period. You
have no argument out of me there.
Period. And if
none whatsoever.
All Stars 1 had a Snatch Game, I think Chad would have won. Hands down. Boots, no question about it. So that and that sort of that Cher is
the look was correct. The intonation was correct. The references were correct. The body posture, the body language was correct. Like, that Snatch Game made, like we said earlier, like that Snatch Game made Snatch Game serious. Yeah. It's like, God bless Tatiana. I love her. All she had to do was throw on a Southern accent and tip that little hat to the side, you know? And for the first Snatch Game, that was enough. Yeah. And I'm not downplaying her performance. I am saying that it was not as thorough. Was it funny? Yes. Was it like, it was good enough? But Chad was like, you want to do celebrity impersonations, bitch? Let's do celebrity impersonations.
And to your point about foundation, like some of the pillars of drag. So when I was young, I saw La Cage aux Folles in Vegas. So it was like a celebrity female impersonation. I was young. You know, my parents are already corrupting me by letting me see drag as a young
Not person. Corrupting. They were.
No, I mean, I'm making fun of like.
I know.
People, right? Like it was, you know. So I saw female impersonations, and I know what like
at a level, like at a showgirl, top tier, best of the best, world class level.
That's
at a world class
level. Job. This is, and it's a thing. Like, celebrity impersonation is not pageant drag. Those are two different kinds of drag. They're both foundational elements of drag, but they're not the same. And Chad is at the top. Chad is in the sort of pantheon of foundational sort of, this is how you do celebrity impersonation. Now, obviously, there were people who came before Chad, like Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you think about a modern incarnation, like when you want to ask yourself what is celebrity impersonation, it's what Chad Michaels does.
Yeah.
And frankly, there haven't been any queens after Chad that have done it at that level, right? That level of fine impersonation of celebrity. There have been great ones, but that comes to mind. Maybe there is one that doesn't come to mind, but that's sort of who would you say comes to mind?
The first person who came to mind was, I feel shady for not saying Coco because she's legendary and iconic, has been doing it longer. But for me, I know. I mean, you know me, right on solidarity, blackness. I had to put her name in the conversation, but also when Derek is on, Derek is on.
Yeah, absolutely. In my mind, and I absolutely, there's like.
But I know what you mean. There's like
you don't get a Derek without a Chad.
True, absolutely.
That's sort of where I'm coming from, right? Like I see a lot of
I'm with that.
Chad in Derek in the sense of like the way that Chad clearly respects Cher.
Yeah.
You see that in how Derek embodies Brittany.
And I also would wonder if it's like the difference between a Cher and a Brittany gives a different level of grandiosity and intensity to a Chad's impersonation. It's like Derek, it can be in an entirely authentic Britney impersonation look with a cut-off tank top and low-rise jeans. And that is not the same as like hand-beaded Bob Mackie and a 7-foot feathered headdress. It just doesn't have the same visual impact. Even if they're equally accurate, equally committed to the personality, to the character, to the performance, there's something so striking about Cher that even the most incredible Derek Barry Britney impersonation, even the most glittery rhinestone, it's just not gonna give the same. It's not gonna pack the same punch.
Well, Britney isn't Cher.
Too long, didn't read. Boom. Okay, so
and my last one.
Okay.
Is Ginger. And the reason I put Ginger there, and this is sort of where I recognize people can have different opinions, but she tied for a win her original run. She won her second one. She's the only contestant to win 3 times. And while her Reba wasn't like fantastic,
it was still winning.
It was really good. Like I believe she was Reba. Like she knew the character well enough. Like I like Reba McEntire. Like I used to watch her show on TV. Like she's not my favorite, but like I like Reba. I like kind of sort of like blue collar.
She's white Mary J. Blige.
Right? Like we know she ain't blue collar, but she plays it well.
Right.
And she's got a good voice, and she's sort of like she's iconic in that way. And she played that really well. And she was funny. Like I cackled at her, the phone sex. I was like, that's funny to turn your microphone. It's like, that's funny. Like Ginger's good at it. And then I thought more about it and I was like, how many queens could do 3 distinct characters with 3 different accents and make Rue laugh the most each time they show up with the whole variety of contestants that they've competed against? That to me is worthy of placement on the Rushmore, largely because any other queen that you can say sort of matches her sort of like capacity didn't do it 3 times. And that's sort of where like it fell for me. I've got some honorable mentions. So like Aquaria is one of my honorable mentions. Like no one expected her Melania to hit the way that it did. And it was phenomenal. Bianca, because her Judge Judy was really great, but she didn't win. Right? Which it's hard to put you on when you didn't win. And then to your point, I did put Tatiana on my honorable mention list just because, like, again, I did not expect her to be funny. Like, at all. Like, I did not expect to enjoy her Britney the way that I don't think anyone did. And so I wanted to honor that by sort of saying, hey, this was one that sort of I went back and forth on. I originally had her in Chad's spot, but I quickly removed her as soon as I got to Chad's season. I was like, no. Yep. No, Chad must be on this list. Where I would entertain definitely changing it. I mean, I can see Ginger being. I'm very curious to see who's on your list. But I think we agree on a couple at least. So I want to know what your list is.
So I'll start with my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Jujubee's Eartha really has a special place in my heart. Kennedy's Little Richard has a special place in my heart. Gigi's Maria the Robot has a special place in my fucking heart. And Shay's Flava Flav has a special place in my heart. Now, I absolutely agree with Jinx. I absolutely agree with Chad. This is the thing. This is the fucked up thing. I absolutely agree with Bob, and your reasoning for Ginger is inarguable. But I still have Dayla and Jimbo on my list.
Oh, so because
Dayla came through
as Maggie Smith,
and as Paulin. Because I didn't give a fuck who Paulin was. He was reading, and then because much like a little Edie, because I so enjoyed that performance, I was inspired to go see who Paulin was, and I was like, bitch. She brought that motherfucker back from the dead, and he was sitting there on Snatch Game talking to RuPaul. I had chills. It was uncanny. Like, almost makes me uncomfortable or creeped out how fucking good it was.
I forgot all about Dayla. I don't know
Dayla.
How did I forget about Dayla? Like, I would.
And that's who I had in place of Ginger. And also when you consider who else Dayla was going up against.
Very true. Very true.
Dayla wasn't nothing getting handed to Dayla. You sitting on a Snatch Game panel with the Bianca Del motherfucking Rio. Like,
it's very true.
And I keep forgetting that Bianca's there. Not because she doesn't keep interjecting and yelling baloney, but because the nuance of your performance is making her look one note. And we know how gifted Bianca is.
You are right.
So Dayla really fucked me up for real. And if I'm thinking like in terms of RuPaul's reactions, I don't know if she has laughed at anyone harder than she has laughed at that damn Jimbo,
Shirley Temple,
Joan Rivers, and Shirley Temple. I know Joan Rivers is technically not a Snatch Game performance. That is her roast.
How about that?
But just like as an addendum to her gift for celebrity impersonation / improv / volley. But I don't think the genius of putting whatever she found in the garbage on the bottom of them. As far as impact, I can't think of Rue laughing at anyone harder than she laughed at Jimbo during that set. Like, I'm really going through, like,
oh, you're right.
She was the entire fandom was undone at that fucking Shirley Temple. That Shirley Temple goes down in history for me in Drag Race Snatch Games.
To be fair, this is my blind spot because I don't like to think about Snatch Game of Love. And if you notice, I basically just ignored it in my thinking, because I basically forgot all about it. Like, I didn't even process it, and I wasn't intending not to. I just didn't, because like you mentioned, Shay's Flava Flav, that was hysterical. And you are correct. Jimbo's Shirley Temple was iconic. So okay, I am willing to trade Ginger and even Bob.
But
I can't trade Chad.
I can't trade Chad. I can't trade Jinx. But
I can't believe I'm willing to trade Bob.
That's the thing. I was so confident in Dayla and Jimbo. When you said Bob, I was like, no, Bob took it to another level.
Right?
Chad gave us like the entry level of professional, and Bob was like, I see your one great impersonation and I raise you. I double that shit. And I'll excel in both of them two vastly different characters, and I feel like that deserves some respect.
I agree.
But Dayla, Jesus Christ.
So
but
if
Jimbo's hilarious.
Yeah,
I would almost argue that Jimbo, if we're going by RuPaul standards, there's a case for Jimbo Snatch Game being the funniest US Snatch Game of all time.
Yeah, there is definitely a case to be made. I would put it up with Jinx's, like, and I could see.
Okay, yeah, with her all winners, with her Judy, because like Edie was funny, Edie was brilliant,
but
it wasn't scream, laugh, tears streaming. No one could get it the fuck together.
Yeah, Judy Garland. So how about this?
Okay. How we gonna do this? Because
I don't think
and
I don't know.
Ginger has done incredibly well 3 times, but
she hasn't made Rue laugh. I mean, her Adele was hysterical, and her Adele had Rue in stitches.
And also her competition.
Right. So this is hard to pick 4.
She wasn't like, I mean, and it's like we knew that the Pearl and the Fame and the Violet of it all weren't cast because they were laugh riots.
Good point. And
so that's
she tied with Kennedy as opposed to
winning. Tied with Fair.
Right. Okay. So I think that means
no disrespect to her.
No, but again, you have to make tough decisions. So
we have to make tough decisions. Woo!
I would be comfortable replacing Ginger with Dayla, because your point about the fact that both of her characters had Rue in stitches, the fact that she competed against the likes of Bianca Del Rio and beat her, I would argue that's a stronger set of outcomes than Ginger.
And to your point about kind of like a Chad versus a Derek, I don't know, like they're similar ages. I don't know if they've like influenced one another, but at least in terms of the order of the show performances, we got a Dayla performance before a Ginger performance.
We did. So here's my other thinking about then Bob and Jimbo. And this is my bias. But would Jimbo have been as funny in a traditional Snatch Game versus only having 2 other people to be funny against? Right? Like, if it's
that's
just
a factor,
you can take up a lot more space if you want to. And when you think about who Jimbo was competing against in that slice of Snatch Game of Love, she kind of steamrolled them.
That is true. If stiff competition is a factor, then Bob had much more work to do against a Thorgy versus I don't even remember who Jimbo was sitting next to.
Right. And did 2 characters in a short period of time.
And did 2 characters.
I don't like the logic I'm using. It hurts my feelings, but that's how I'm having to parse it, because you can't compare which was funnier. They were both hysterical in different ways. So if we have to parse this sort of, we got to pick 4, and we have sort of used how hard was it as part
as
of
a qualifier.
To me, it was harder for Bob to do what Bob did than Jimbo to do what Jimbo did, without taking away how incredibly funny Jimbo was. Because to your point, the only episode that had as much laughter was Jinx's episode in All Winners.
Yeah.
So like, I think if we can acknowledge that and give Jimbo that sort of special dispensation that like, if we had 5 spots, we'd give you the 5th spot. But we've only got 4 spots. And it's like the person who has the funniest or the most sold single of the year, but their album doesn't chart. Or vice versa, where you have the number 1 album of the year, but your singles didn't chart. That's Taylor Swift, like her most recent album. She didn't have any number 1 singles on it, but it was like one of the biggest albums of the year. I could be really wrong about that, so please don't come for me.
Like I would know.
Right? Like, I'm trying to create a logic to like
because and this is how I know we're gonna have to come to a resolution at some point. This is what's fucking me up about the Jimbo thing is that as much as I respect Jimbo as an artist, Jimbo's never like the fact that I've never like really gone up for Jimbo all like that, and the fact that I don't know why I have like Bob. I feel like such an attachment to Bob. I met Bob on the one train towards the end of his season, the day that Prince died, and he hugged me on the train platform because we were both sad about it. Yeah. I love Bob. Bob don't know me. Bob does not know me. Probably doesn't remember me. This was 9 years ago. But I have followed this artist's career. Like I love Bob and Bob's work, not parasocially or creepily, but as a fan, more than I love Jimbo's. Yep. And for some reason in this context of like of Snatch Game though, it's really breaking my heart to not hit that damn Shirley Temple there. But by your logic, I don't disagree with your logic that theoretically Bob had more to do, fewer examples, and more competition.
Okay. And if we are trying to again like create something to split the two, Bob was funny and authentic to our understanding of the two characters that he portrayed. Because Carol Channing was
a faithful Carol Channing.
Right?
Okay.
Versus the Shirley Temple, which wasn't Shirley Temple. That was
Shirley
Jimbo's
Temple was
creating a character.
Maniacal. Okay. This I feel good about. I feel good about. And especially if we're thinking about the authenticity in terms of like if we talked about how it creeped me out how much Dela looked and sounded like Paul Lynde. Like it felt less like impersonation and more like it felt like channeling. And like it almost made me uneasy how it was. And same with the Jinx and the Judy. By that standard, give it to Bob.
And Bob's Uzo wasn't Uzo, it was Crazy Eyes. So like Bob also did a caricature of the person as opposed to the person, because we don't know the person. We know she's a beautiful actress, incredibly talented, but he wasn't impersonating the actress, he was impersonating the character. Right? And I think that is also something that Jimbo didn't have to do, because the Shirley Temple we know inspired his Shirley Temple, but he was just really doing what he knew would make Rue laugh, and he did it.
Yes.
Like I don't be very clear. I am not trying to take away anything.
No.
From the iconic level of that presentation of humor and clownery, right?
Listen.
Like 1000%.
Eight down.
This is I am creating some kind of arbitrary lines to separate things to come up with four. Because again, like I didn't think about Dela at first. And maybe that's just because like I still harbor a secret, like, I can't believe you eliminated yourself. How dare you?
Right, like
how dare you? But
I would love to bring her back. I feel like she has honorary winner status in the way that Raven has honorary winner status, even though we didn't went ahead and gave Raven the crown officially.
And so I think it was Naisha at Roscoe, she was talking about how like allegedly it's the symbolism. I'm like, look, Rue's a lot of things, but I don't think that was Rue's idea. I think that was like somebody else. And Rue was like, whatever, like, sure. But like, I don't think Rue was like, I am going to punish James by giving Raven this crown, that I am removing James's win and giving it to Raven. Like some people are saying that was the symbolism.
I mean, the only reason why I would argue maybe is because I'm pretty sure when we lost, I believe it was the Vivian. James had, that was the only, RuPaul, she's like a Beyonce. She don't respond to nobody. She responded to that.
Was it the slap? Was that the
I believe
slap?
so.
And see, my thinking is that was the response. And that was the only response that was going to happen. But I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility, for sure.
Yeah, like, do I think, no, I see what you mean in terms of like, was it maybe her idea? But I can see her, her name is on the show, and she didn't say, don't give her a crown that looks just like the one that we give the winners.
I mean, like, she knows how to
hand it to her personally.
She knows how to make money. She knows how to stay relevant. That if nothing else, Ru is a marketing genius, as Ru will tell you.
And we'll have her on the episode with the queen if she didn't had hers.
She knows what she's doing, and that's why they happily put Mistress.
Solidarity.
That's why they put Mistress on the TV and let her crash out. Because that's what they're doing. They are letting her crash out.
And also, yeah, like they apparently took her all up and down and around and through the rigmarole to arrive at this character, because this is not who she was going to do.
Well, I don't know that tea. I don't know that tea.
So when she was speaking to Aja on Mistress Monday, she noted that she initially wanted to do an entirely different character, and there was something in the language that was like, you can't say this and you can't say that and you can't say this and you can't say that. And so it was like, well, now the character doesn't make any sense. So I guess I can't do that. And so then they're like, all right, well, you can do this Natalie Nunn person. And then 30 minutes before she went on to perform, they're like, oh, by the way, you can't make any references to the show. You can't make any references to like Bad Girls Club or Baddies or da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And forgive me if she was on Baddies and not Bad Girls Club, and those are two separate shows. My bad. But she's like, I was all literally wearing a necklace that said that. It's like they gave me so many stipulations, and then we're like, okay, now go sit on set. That it was just like, it felt like they were trying to make sure that I was shaken before the performance started, so that I would be like in my head about what I'm not allowed to say. And I wish I could remember who she said she was going to do initially, though.
That doesn't surprise me, though. Honestly, like I don't claim anything other than the truth. Like that sounds like the tea. I know that they mess with them, they play with them, they do all that kind of stuff because they can. And like, it's any organization. It's not like one person's doing it. You got all these different people who have their own internal politics, who have their own desires, and like story producers wanting to be promoted to like higher level producers. People like coming like the whole ecosystem, people's lives. So like every individual is making their own choices. And so, yeah, if someone can use a contestant to further their own production value, they'll do that. And I'm sure some of the assistant producers or whatever producers are like, let me see how I can, like, who knows? Again, I don't know nothing. I have no facts. I'm a person sitting in a space. I'm not.
Listen,
but
I'm at home.
It makes sense. It makes sense. So we have Jinx, we have Bob, we have Chad, and we have Dayla, which I
feel
think
good about that.
And we've got some
I feel
nice
good about that.
mentions. We've honored some people in their pretty iconic experiences. Thank you for making sure that we did show some love to Snatch Game of Love, even though I don't want to.
I mean, a sensible 74.
Oh my God, you literally took it out of my mouth.
Come on. We gotta do it for Jujubee one time.
I just want to say if Jujubee ever hears this, Jujubee is the only person that I would not be mad at every season of Drag Race. Like, I know it's a thing.
Listen.
But I agree. I will watch Jujubee just be Jujubee. And she has grown so much as a person from her first season, yet she's remained so relevant on her own. Like, of all of the logo girls, her capacity to never have won
2.
like, and be a top relevant known queen who has changed her whole life.
Yeah.
Like the amount of change and growth that she's had as a person and still is relevant. Like,
and just for the record, I saw her. I was so fortunate to make sure I checked out Drag the Musical before it left the city or New York City. And oh my, everyone was so good. Lux was so good. Okay, fun moment. So there's basically the plot of the play or the musical. There's two drag bars there across the street from each other, and they got beef because the owners used to date and no one knows why they broke up. So they find out that one of them is going out of business. And there's a scene where Alaska's character, she's the owner of the drag bar, and she like comes out, and it's like a very somber moment. I forget her name is like Kitty Saint something. And because I ain't got no home track, it's like she comes out and it's like there's a runway built into the stage. She comes like out to the very end, and she's like preparing, and involuntarily I hear myself yell, "Yes, Kitty!" And she's like, "No," and then she just bursts into tears. And it was so you can't take my black ass nowhere. But it was so the audience got a kick out of it. I got a kick out of it. And then she went back downstage, sat down, and did her number. But it was like, she like, you just when the girl, you just be wanting to give them some encouragement. And she sauntered to the end of the stage and was like really feeling. I was feeling it. We were feeling it. It was fun. But it was a really good show. And also, I'm a huge fan of Rent. Mm-hmm. And I did not realize that oh my gosh, wow, how big of a fan am I? Roger from the original Broadway show was also in this musical. And I never got to see it with the original cast just because we were too young. And when I just got goosebumps when I heard his voice like live for the first, I was like,
oh wow.
Oh my God, it's but okay. That's like the extent of my musical theater fandom. I'm not, I love it, but I don't
live and breathe it. Like
I gotta it's like Bob the Drive Purse First Productions, that episode they just dropped about how why don't black people like musical theater? It's like we love musicals. No, it wasn't even musical theater. It was like, why do black people hate musicals? It's like Five Heartbeats, Temptations, Dreamgirls, the Jackson 5, and American. Like, nigga, what you mean we hate musicals? We might not like fucking La La Land, but musicals make sense to black people because we will break into song and coordinated dance
for fun. Just cause you want
not
to see
for fun.
Go to family function. You will see nothing but a musical.
Shit, look at the civil rights movement. Lock everybody in a jail cell and watch them break out into 4-part harmony gospel choir.
Because that's how we do.
So, anyway, I could go. I will sit here and talk to you forever because you're my friend and I love you.
And that is why we do this thing.
That's why we do this thing.
But it is always good to share more things about Drag Race with you and the people who choose to us. So we are very thankful for people spending their time listening to us yak. As always, tell us if you liked it, if you didn't like it. We may check the comments, we may not, but we want you to tell us.
Yo, I'm so excited to have comments.
And we're open-minded people,
Oh, yes, indeed.
I'm Chinese. Mm-hmm. But I listen. So our next time we'll be talking will likely be at some point further in the semifinals. I would be very surprised if we didn't sit and talk about whatever is going to come next. So while it may not be next week, it might be next week. I don't know, but we will likely talk pretty close to the next episode sharing itself with us, especially if there's a twist. Like I foresee if there's a twist, we might be talking real soon. Largely because I don't know.
We should do an IG live.
We should. If there's so what we should do is, well, we'll figure that out. And you might see us on the Instagrams real soon. But thank y'all again, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.
I never know how to turn it off. Okay, there we go. We can edit that part out.